Hi everyone! In this video, you'll learn how to take the Mary Had a Little Lamb melody and turn it into your own creation through piano improvisation. Let's get started. Here's what we're starting with. I'm just going to start off by first experimenting and seeing what chords would sound good with each note here. So if we are in the key of C, and let's start with that first note. So if it's an E, we can comfortably say that any chord that has the key of E in it within the C major scale is going to be a fit, something that sounds pretty decent. If we start with C major, we're already starting on a resolved note anyway, so all right, we have the first 4 beats down. Now let's work on that transition into the, so we want a chord that's going to have the note of D in it. So right now we already have C major, so let's try D minor. Okay, that sounds pretty okay. Let's take a look at some other options we have in the key of C. G major. Ooh, I like that one already. And as you go along, you can always experiment with other chords as well. Let's put it all together so far. So we have a... Okay, now we need to go into the part. So this one has an E and a G in it, so we can always go back to the C major chord since that has both the E and the G in it, and that already sounds good. The E minor chord, that sounds pretty cool. It doesn't quite sound resolved. With the C major chord, since it's the bass chord of the C major scale, I'm liking how it's resolving back to that tone. And then the next part repeats itself for the most part. So for most of that, we can repeat the same sequence that we had in the first part of Mary Had a Little Lamb. So, yeah. We're going to need to change the chord on that last C here, so it already sounds resolved in and of itself because it is basically the end of the song. So we can go back to C. So now we have the basics of our whole song. We have the chord and the melody. So another option to add more options to your playing, especially when changing the left hand, is adding what are called broken chords. So the chords that we initially played together, the triads, they have 3 notes. We're going to break them up. So we're going to use 1, 3, 5, and then 3, and then 1. And then there are different ways to make cool broken chords, but for the simplicity of this video, we're going to start with this. The 3 is going to basically act as the transition note as we go between our main notes in the melody. So here's what I mean. Notice how the E or the 3 is played in between each note that I'm playing on the right hand. That also it gives more of a classical vibe. Now we've done quite a few things with our left hand. Let's see what we can do with our right hand as well. Okay, let's try adding an additional note while playing the melody. Now, when I'm adding an additional note here, I am adding a note that second note is going to be a part of the chord that I'm playing. I'm playing the C as the first, like the first second notes to accompany this part. And then when I move on to the next section, I change that second note to B because we are playing that G here. So yeah, anyway. What we can do is adjust the regular notes of the melody, and then what I'm doing here is making it like a long, short, long. But this adds a little bit of groove rather than just keeping the same length of note. So whether it be quarter note or half note, you want to make sure that the end of each section still ends at the same time. So you're making up for any longer beats with shorter beats and any shorter beats with longer beats. Okay, I threw a little extra in there. So the first thing I did, I put fifths in here. So a fifth is the chord that we're playing, but we're removing the middle note entirely. So if that is a C major chord, it's just the C and the G. And I also added what are called inversions. So if I'm using a C major chord, you can actually move any of these notes across any part of the piano. So this is useful if you're trying to reach a chord that's kind of far away on the keyboard. Instead of playing this C, E, G, I'm playing G, E, C. Notice how it also gives a different vibe as well because the E is on top and therefore acting as kind of like the melody of the chords. What I'm also going to do, can you see that? Yeah. I can also work my way up the piano. Starting from lower tones or starting from higher tones and working up or down. So with this, I'm just using the same chord tones, the same notes that are in the chord in our left hand. So it's like, I think that's an arpeggio. I don't remember. Anyway, so let me know. Is that an arpeggio? Let me know if that's it in the comments or if it's another name. So if we kind of play it like, so notice how it's just so much prettier. It gives me ballad vibes as well. So let's just play it all together. The whole point is to combine all of these together. All of these together whenever you feel like it. So each time you practice like the chords or you practice arpeggios or whatever, those kind of act as little keys that you use. It's like, oh, I could do that. I could do that now. Oh, and also you can mess with the rhythm on your left hand. So like, you can add more pulses into the rhythm of the chords that you're playing. So like, whether with all the fingers that you are playing with, or just with one, and then you're holding the notes of the other ones you're playing. So, and then also you can add little transition notes in between the melody as well too. Here is my final result, and here we go. Right now I'm just playing a couple of the chords of the left hand that were in the melody just by themselves, just to kind of add an interlude. But Mary Had a Little Lamb. Another like bonus tip is if you want to really make it your own, mess with the chords. I'm telling you, messing with the chords is crazy. So any chord within that key is your domain. That just came out of my brain. And that can come out of your brain. Really. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to join our free private community, the Piano Creative Circle. It's all about learning how to go from just playing from sheet music to creating your own arrangements like these of your favorite songs, as well as creating your own songs. Join now to become a founding member, where you actually tell me what you're looking for, and then we can create the resources for you to help you break free from just playing sheet music. I am so excited to see you there.